Good morning. We will start pair of linear equation in two variables session 2. So in session 1 we understood about how to represent this equation graphically. We also represented in a graph. One I had represented and remaining two were given for homework, where I had given you all the tabular columns for x and y how to plot it. So the first graph what we plotted, it was a intersecting line at one point. The second graph also what homework I had given you all, that also was a intersecting line at one particular point. But the third graph which was given for homework, the solution of the graph was in parallel line. Correct? So you need to only mention that the lines are parallel. Now in today's class we will understand solution to the pair of linear equation. That means how do you interpret or how do you find the solution of the linear equation depending on the graphical representation. So let us understand that. So basically we have three types of solution when we represent this graph, when we represent this equation graphically. That is, in graphical method or generally when we talk about this equation, if the linear equation will represent two intersecting lines, then the coordinates of the point of intersection, say A and B, is the given solution. For the first two graphs we got intersecting line. The point where it intersects is nothing but the solution to the given equation. If the graph represents two parallel lines, then the equation has no solution. That means you cannot solve that equation. There cannot be a definite solution to the given equation, which we got in the third graph. There's one more condition here. If the graph represents coincident lines or overlapping lines, we did not come across such graph, but you can find them in the worked example. When you draw the graph, you see that the points what you plot for the first time, just assume that these were the points, so you draw a line to it, right, for one equation. Second equation also, when you draw, you get the point somewhere here again. That means the lines are coincident, they are overlapping. So such an equation will have infinitely many solutions. So I want you all to write down this by giving the heading solution of the pair of linear equation in two variables in graphical method. You need not draw anything which is not required, and write down these 3 points in your mathematics book. Very clear? So first write down this, and now after that we will see what are the nature of lines of these lines and their consistency. Please write this down in your mathematics notebook. So these are the nature of lines and consistency. What does this tell us here is, now we have taken 3 different pairs of linear equation and let us compare those linear equation to their ratios. First equation, we have to compare the ratio in terms of A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2. See here, of this one if I talk about, A1 is 1, A2 is 3, B1 is minus 2, B2 is 4. Then C is anyway 0, C is anyways here minus 20. Similarly, A1 is 2, A2 is 4, B1 is 3, B2 is 6. That is what we compare here. That means for the first one, if I say this is for A1, A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2, we compare with the ratios. We find that A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. That means when this is not equal, C1 by C2 doesn't matter. Even if it is equal, not equal. You'll understand why later. Under such condition, when the ratios A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, the graphical representation will have intersecting lines. That means an algebraic interpretation is it will have exactly one solution and the nature of the graph is consistent. This is what you have to know. We have exercise based on this. Next one, let us see the condition here. A1 by A2 is 1 by 2. B1 by B2 is also 1 by 2. C1 by C2 is also 1 by 2. Therefore, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. When all the ratios are equal, graphical representation is the coincident line. That is, they are overlapping. If you want, we can just have a small graph here for your just clarification. This is your interpretation of the graph. For example, now here if you want to draw the graph comes only like this, coincident line. If it is a coincident line, it will have infinitely many solutions and the nature of the graph is consistent. Last one, A1 by A2 is 1 by 2, B1 by B2 is 1 by 2, C1 by C2 is 1 by 3, where A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 but not equal to C1 by C2. That means the lines are parallel. That means if the lines are parallel, algebraic interpretation, the graph will have no solution and the nature is inconsistent. Now just look at here. If you ask me, what if this is also not equal to C1 by C2? It's going to be intersecting. What if this is equal to C1 by C2? But still A1 by A2 is not equal. So that does not matter here whether it is there or not there. At first only if you get they are not equal, it is understood that they are intersecting. C1 by C2 does not matter at all. Now look at this. A1 by A2 should be equal to B1 by B2. What if this is not equal? Then it becomes parallel line. Only if C1 by C2 is equal, only then we get coincident line. If you get C1 by C2 not equal, you get parallel lines. So this is the nature of line and consistency. How we can interpret the graph only based on the given linear equation by comparing that equation to its ratios. I again want you all to draw this tabular column. How I have drawn it at one face only, neatly, again in your maths note. Please do this. Let's start with the exercise. Next exercise. Form a pair of linear equations in the following problems and find their solutions graphically. I need not repeat again and again, children. It is asked, they have asked us to find the solutions graphically. So in which book you have to do? In the graph book. It is understood. First one, 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than number of boys, find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. First of all, we need to write how many number of, how do we represent number of girls and boys here. So we will write, let the number of boys be X and girls be Y. Okay. So total how many students are there in the class? 10. So we can just say by the first one, X plus Y is equal to 10. Equation 1. Why? Because total number is 10. So number of girls plus number of boys is 10. We framed equation 1. Next, just see my data what they have given. My data, if the number of girls is 4 more than number of boys. So how do you write? Number of girls is equated by Y is equal to 4 more than number of boys, that is X. This is equation 2. That means the first step we have arrived, we have written this, we have understood or written this equation algebraically. Now to represent this graphically, we need to write this in the form of Y is equal to AX plus B, where this is already in the form, this we have to change it and write the values for X and Y and plot the graph. We'll start with this. X plus Y is equal to X plus Y is equal to 10. Y is equal to 10 minus X. Let us tabulate the values for X and Y. So if I take X as 6, y will be 10 minus 6, 4. If I take x as 4, 10 minus 4 will be 6. If I take x as 3, then 10 minus 3 will be 7. Enough? 3 values. The next part, directly we can write y is equal to 4 plus x value and y value. So let's see what values we will take here. So first one we will take if x is equal to 0, y is equal to 4. If x is equal to 1, y is equal to 5. If x is equal to 3, y is equal to 7. One thing you have to always make a note, when we write the tabular column for this equation and this equation, there is one coordinate always which is same in this as well as in this. Which is that? That is 3 and 7. That means that's your hint given to the graph. In a graph when you draw, the line of intersection will be at 3 and 7. Always remember this. Now what I will do, you all know how to plot the graph, how to take the scale. We have already done in the previous exercise, right? I have given you all the tabular column, ready-made things are given to you. Your work is to only plot the graph in the graph paper using appropriate scale. Tabular columns are there. Using the scale, appropriately plot it, give the conclusion. So what have they asked? Find the solution. Now the graph will intersect at one point. Assume that this is the graph. Okay. So the graph might intersect at one point somewhere, and that point is 3 and 7. This is our assumption. Therefore, the point of intersection of the graph is 3 and 7. That's all you can give. That is the solution to the given linear equation. Is that very clear? This is how you will do it. So, quickly copy the second one. First means second one. 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 50, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Find the cost of 1 pencil and that of 1 pen. Now see children, here even in the previous sum, find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. I forgot to mention that we get the point of intersection at a point called 3 and 7. I had told you, right? That means this is your x, y. The conclusion should be, write down the conclusion if you want and then I will proceed with this. The point of intersection of the lines is 3, 7, that is x, y. This means number of x represents what here? What you had given x? Number of boys. Therefore, number of boys x is equal to 3 and number of girls y is equal to 7. This should be your conclusion in the previous one. Since if I tell orally you will not write, so I don't want you all to miss that. Please make a note of the previous sum. This should be the conclusion because we can find the solution at one point there. Okay. Similarly, I hope you all made a note of this. I'll just erase this now. So we'll start with the next one, because even in the next one we need to find the solution of the given graph. Okay. 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 50. Let the cost of 1 pencil be rupees x and 1 pen be rupees 1. So by data, the cost of 5 pencils, 5x plus 7y together cost rupees 50, equation 1, and wherein 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46 equation 2. This is what the equation is. So algebraically we have framed it. For graphically, let us frame that. 5x plus 7y is equal to 50. 7y is equal to 50 minus 5x. Y is equal to 50 minus 5x divided by 7 for x and y. Tabular column, what you have to make it here. We'll frame the next equation also, then together we will write it. 7x plus 5y is equal to 46. 5y is equal to 46 minus 7x. Y is equal to 46 minus 7x divided by 5. Right? Okay. I'll give you the values again here. So for the first one is 50 minus 5x by 7. See here, take values in such a way that this will be again trial and error method. When you multiply with something, after you subtract with this, that should be divisible by 7. Like that the value should be taken. So I am giving you all the values ready. That means it should be easy for you, but you all try to take some more different values for given sums. First one I take x is equal to 3. 5 3s are 15. 50 minus 15, 35. So 7 5s is 35. Then I will take x is equal to minus 4. 5 4s is 20. Minus plus. So 50 plus 20, 70. So this is equal to 10. Understood how I have taken? Next, 5. I think yes. 2 values are taken. Okay, keep this enough. Let's see. As I told, sometimes 2 or 3 values will be more than enough. Let's go to the next one. First, I will take the value as, minus 2. 7 2s are 14. So plus 14. So plus 14 and 46 plus 14. When you divide that, 60. So 5 12s are 60. Next 8. 7 8s are 56. 46 minus 56. So you will get 10. So 2s are minus 2 you will get here. 46 minus 56. Last value, try to take any of this. 4 if you take it will not satisfy. Let us try with 3. It will satisfy. 7 3s are 21. So 46 minus 21 is 25. 5 5s are 25. Now tell me the answer. What it has to be? Answer should be 3 and 5. How? Because 3 and 5 is same in the given equation. So when I plot this graph now, assume that I can graph something like this here. So this is 3 and 5. Okay. Therefore, what will you write? The cost of one pencil. Now pencil is given as x, no? This is x and this is y. Therefore, the cost of one pencil is rupees 3 and cost of one pen is rupees 5. Very clear? So this is how you have to solve the sums. So we'll start with the next one now. Secondly, on comparing the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2, find out whether the lines representing the following pair of linear equation intersect at a point or parallel or they are coincident. Now, how do we know whether they are intersecting, parallel or coincident? By comparing the ratios. What ratios? A1, A2, B1, B2 and C1, C2. So, let's first of all, when you get this type of a question, see that it is in this form only. That is, it is in the form of AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. Always. Suppose if the question was like this. 5x minus 4y is equal to 8. That means you need to rearrange it and write it 5x minus 4y minus 8 is equal to 0. Understood now? It has to be always in this form. It cannot be equal to form. C also should be in the same equation, not equal to. rearrange if it is not there. Keep that in your mind. So let's start by comparing the ratios. So write down first of all what is A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Solution. What is A1? Coefficient we write 5. What is A2? 7. What is B1? -4. What is B2? 6. What is C1? 8. What is C2? -9. Then our usual thing is to first compare it and then put equal to or not equal to sign. A1 by A2 is equal to what? 5 by 7. Keep this as it is. Can't simplify further. B1 by B2 is equal to -4 by 6. 2 2s are 2 3s are. Simplify this. -2 by 3. Last. C1 by C2 is equal to 8 by -9. It is to be kept as it is. Cannot do anything. From the given equation, this implies what? A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. Since if A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, C1 by C2 doesn't matter at all. You need not even write this. This implies the given, what have they asked? Whether they are pair of lines are intersecting, parallel or consistent. So you will give the conclusion as the linear equation. The given lines intersect. Simple enough. Highlight it. It's understood what you have got the answer. The given lines intersect. The given lines or the given pair of linear equation of the lines intersect. It's the same thing. We only want to know whether they intersect, coincident or parallel. This is the method and this is the way you have to carry this out. Let's check with the next one. Second one, we'll see how what they have given. 9x plus 3y plus 12 is equal to 0. 18x plus 6y plus 24 is equal to 0. Correct form it is? Yes. So A1 is what? Solution. A1 is 9. A2 is 18. B1 is 3. B2 is 6. C1 is 12. C2 is 24. A1 by A2 is equal to 9 by 18. 9 ones are, 9 twos are, that is equal to 1 by 2. B1 by B2 is equal to 3 by 6. 3 ones are, 3 twos are, 1 by 2. Now C1 by C2 you have to find. Why? Because if these two are equal and if that is not equal, then it becomes parallel lines. So let's check. C1 by C2 is equal to 12 by 24 is equal to 12 ones are 12 twos are 1 by 2. Therefore, what it is? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. The given lines are parallel. Is this very clear how to do this? Whether it is parallel or not parallel. So we have a last one. They have not asked us whether they are, they have not parallel. When they are equal, I was just telling the same thing. If it is not equal, then they are parallel, and I wrote they are parallel. They are coincident. When it would be parallel, if this is not equal, then it would have been a parallel line. So given lines are coincident lines. Okay, very clear. The last one is that I will give this third main as homework. I will write the homework session here. So homework part, second main third one I'll give you as a homework, wherein you have to find it in this manner only. Right, first, see, please follow the same steps. No shortcuts and nothing to be used here. All the steps have to be written systematically. So second main, third one I have given for homework. You can copy the third main sum now. Third main, on comparing the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2, find whether the following pair of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent. To know whether they are consistent or inconsistent, first of all, we have to know whether they are intersecting, parallel or coincident. Based on that, we can come to a conclusion that whether they are consistent or inconsistent. What do you actually mean by consistency or inconsistency of a graph? Now, consistency means a graph can have at least one solution, right? So that is why when the graph is intersecting and when the graph are coincident, in intersecting we have exactly one solution, unique solution. But in coincident we have infinitely many solutions, but at least one solution exists in that. That is why they are consistent. Inconsistent when we mean the graph cannot have any solution at all, right? So let's find out. First of all, look at this question. Is this in the standard form? No. That means you need to first arrange this. 3x plus 2y minus 5 and 2x minus 3y minus 7. Sorry, equal to 0. Equal to 0. After this, same previous sum, what steps we followed now? The same thing we are going to follow here. A1 is 3. A2 is 2. B1 is 2. B2 is minus 3. C1 is minus 5. C2 is minus 7. A1 by A2 is nothing but 3 by 2. B1 by B2 is nothing but 2 by minus 3. C1 by C2 is equal to minus 5 by minus 7. Minus and minus will get cancelled. Answer is only 5 by 7. Now what is this? This implies A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. When A1 by A2 is not equal, we need not care about C1 by C2. Therefore, first of all, let us write what are they? Intersecting, parallel or coincident. Therefore, the lines intersect. Right? This implies, what have they given in the question? Therefore, they are consistent, you can write. They are consistent. Clear? If in case it would coincide, then also it would be consistent. When it is inconsistent, only when they are parallel. So I think you all know what to do with this. The questions are very simple. These are always asked in MCQs. Sometimes if it is asked in 2 marks, then you need to follow all the steps. In MCQs it doesn't matter, but still in your book you have to write with all these steps. Yes children, I forgot to mention, because again you will start messaging and asking second and third main in your mathematics notebook only. See, very simple. Where the graph is not there, it is in your mathematics book. Where graph is there, it should be in your graph book. Very simple. So first one I have done. I think the remaining ones you all can give a try to it. Not give a try, you have to do it. Third main, that will be a practice. So remaining all I will write. Second one, third one, then what will you have? Fourth one and fifth one. So these are the homeworks in third main. Second one, third one, fourth one and fifth one. How you have to do it? In this manner only. First find whether they are intersecting, coincident or parallel. Intersecting, they are consistent. Coincident, they are consistent. Parallel, they are not consistent. That is what you have to find and write the equation in the standard form always. Okay. Remaining I am marking for homework. We'll quickly move on to the fourth one. Yeah children, in third meaning what I found was the third one there is a fraction. So I thought since the fraction is there, I'll be doing that. So from the homework I have removed third one. So homework sums will be now only second one, fourth one and fifth one. Third one I will be doing it here. So you just understand how to do the fractions also. Look at the question. Is it in the standard form? No. First try this in the standard form. 3 by 2x plus 5 by 3y minus 7 is equal to 0. 9x minus 10y minus 14 is equal to 0. What is your A1? 3 by 2. What is your A2? 9. What is your B1? 5 by 3. B2 minus 10. C1 minus 7. This minus 14. So A1 by A2. So we'll draw this first. Let me finish with this since the fraction is there. 3 by 2 whole divided by 9. Okay. Very simple reciprocal rule what we apply here. Just see. 3 by 2 it is nothing but 9 by 1 written as 1 by 9. 3 ones are 3 threes are 9. So answer is 1 by 6. Okay. Next. B1 by B2 is equal to 5 by 3 divided by minus 10 can be written as 5 by 3 minus 10 is nothing but 10 by 1. Reciprocal will you write this as minus 1 by 10. 5 ones are 5 twos are. So this is also, but see here minus sign is there. Be very careful. Minus 1 by 6. Minus 1 by 6 is not equal to 1 by 6. Okay. You might be thinking now 1 by 6 they are equal, but they are not equal. Last one, C1 by C2 is equal to, so minus 7 by minus 14, minus minus cancelled, 1 by 2. So from this what do we get? A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. See, when A1 by A2 you find out, C1 by C2 actually is not required, because when you come to know that A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, C1 by C2 can be skipped. But if A1 by B2 is equal to B1 by B2, it is must and should you have to find C1 by C2 also, because it can be coincident or parallel depending upon the condition. Therefore, the lines what? Intersect. So if the lines intersect, that means the lines are, or we can just say they are coincident. They are consistent. They are consistent. Understood how to do this? So this is how we deal with the fraction. So remaining I have marked for homework. Quickly copy the fourth one. Fourthly, which of the following pair of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent? If consistent, obtain the solution graphically. That means now how do you know whether the pair of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent? That's by only finding in the form of A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2, comparing the ratios. If they are consistent, only then we can draw the graph. That means we can have only intersecting lines and coincident lines in the graph. But if ratios of A1, A2, B1, B2 and C1 by C2 are parallel, then we cannot draw the graph since they are inconsistent. That means we need to check for each and every equation. I am starting with the first one. X plus y is equal to 5. 2x plus 2y is equal to 10. Arrange it in the standard form. X plus y minus 5 is equal to 0. 2x plus 2y minus 10 is equal to 0. A1 is 1, A2 is 2, B1 is 1, B2 is 2, C1 is minus 5, C2 is minus 10. A1 by A2 is equal to 1 by 2. B1 by B2 is equal to 1 by 2. C1 by C2 is equal to minus 5 by minus 10. When minus and minus will get cancelled, answer is 1 by 2. Therefore, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. What type of lines they are? The lines are coincident. Therefore, they are consistent. Now, we can draw the graph only because they are consistent. Now, to draw the graph, what all you require? First of all, you need tabulation of x and y you want there with respect to equation. Let's tabulate it. So, first one. Yes, children, where will you do this? Since the graph is involved, this is done in the graph book. X plus y is equal to 5. Y is equal to 5 minus x. Tabulate the column for y is equal to 5 minus x. X is 0, y is 5 and x is 5, y is 0. Enough. We'll take only smaller two values here. For the next one, 2x plus 2y is equal to 10. Now see here, I can again take 2 common. If I take 2 common, what will I get? X plus y is equal to 5. I'll get the same equation repetition. That's why don't take any common, solve as it is. 2y is equal to 10 minus 2x. Y is equal to 10 minus 2x divided by 2. X and y. So what values will you take for x and y? Let me take the value for x as 1. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Next I will take the value as 2. 2 2s are 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. I think enough these two values. Okay. So let's plot the values for these tabulation what we have received. So this is how you start with the graph. X-axis and y-axis. Since I have very less values for negative, I have only taken two coordinates minus 1 and minus 2. Respectively, whatever points I want in x and y, I have just marked it. Scale. 1 unit in your graph book, one box is 1 unit. 1 unit is equal to 1 centimeter. Same for y-axis. Let's plot. When x is 0, y is 5. It comes here. When x is 5, y is 0. It comes here. Right? First, let us plot for the first one. Then we can say again. I think if you have a bigger scale, it is actually good. So let's plot for this. This is what I have got, and this is for the equation y is equal to 5 minus x. Okay. Next, x is 1, y is 4. X is 1 and y is 4. Where it comes? Let me have one perpendicular line, otherwise I'll miss it. Okay, it's here. I'll mark this by cross. Then x is 2, y is 3. X is 2, y is 3. It again comes here by a cross. Now see here, my first graph and second graph points are coinciding, right? It's on the same axis. So I'll just put an arrow mark and write here, this is the graph for y is equal to 10 minus 2x by 2. Therefore, the graphs are coinciding. Coinciding is nothing but overlapping. This will be the type of graph. So I think now you have understood what are the types of graph what we get here. So second, third and fourth, first of all you need to find whether the given equations are consistent, that is intersecting, coincident or parallel. Only if it is intersecting and coincident, they can be consistent and you can draw the graph. In case if they are parallel, that is A1 by A2, what is the condition for parallel part? A1 by A2 will be equal to B1 by B2 but will not be equal to C1 by C2. You cannot draw the graph. Then what will you do for such things? You will give the conclusion saying that the lines are parallel, hence inconsistent. That's all. No graph will be drawn for that. So fourth way, first one anyways I have done. Second one, third one and fourth one will be for homework. So quickly we'll finish the remaining 3, 5th, 6th and 7th. Fifth one, half the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meter more than its width is 36 meter. Find the dimensions of the garden. They have not mentioned here graphically or what, but it comes under the same thing, so it is understood that it has to be represented graphically. In exam, how do you know? They will give you. Now same question appearing in exam. Do the graph only if it is asked. But here this falls under the same exercise of the graph what we are doing. So we do it in the graph method only. But in exam, until unless they mention that solve the equation graphically only then you will do it. Until that you will not apply the graph. Half the perimeter of a rectangular garden. See, understand the question very carefully here. Whose length is 4 more than its width. First of all, they are not aware of what is length and width. Length of rectangular garden. So let the length of rectangular garden be x and width b. So length is nothing but here rectangular length of rectangular garden be x and width is nothing but breadth here b y. Okay, let's keep this as it is. Now read the question again. Half the perimeter of a rectangular garden, comma is there, whose length is by data, whose length is 4 more than twice, right? Whose length is 4 more than its width. Sorry. Whose length is 4 more than its width. Length is given as x is equal to 4 plus y. According to them, this is the first equation given. Now come back to the question. Half the perimeter of a rectangular garden. Half the perimeter of rectangular garden. That whole sentence you leave is 36. Is 36. Understood the question? Half the perimeter of rectangular garden, comma is there. That is what I have written. They have given us this statement is 36. Perimeter of a rectangle, how do you write? Half of 2 times of length plus 2 times of breadth is equal to 36. So can I take 2 common here? So if I take 2 common, 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So this is going to be x plus y is equal to 36, equation 2. I repeat, I take 2 common, 2 and 2 will get cancelled. X plus y is equal to 36 I get. So these are the 2 equations algebraically. Now we have to find the tabular column for this because we are going to represent them graphically. So first one, how do you represent? X is equal to 4 plus y. So we can say x minus 4 is equal to y. X values, y values. Okay, for this, for the first one, if I will give if x is equal to 0, y is equal to minus 4. So next value what you can give here is if x is equal to 4, y is equal to 0. Now another value I will give in such a way that that value will be same for the previous, the next equation as well as this equation. If x is equal to 20, then y is equal to 16. So this is for the first one. Next equation what we are framing is x plus y is equal to 36. Y is equal to 36 minus x. So for x and for y, when we write it, x is equal to 20, y is equal to 16. If x is equal to 16, then y is equal to 20. Enough, these 2 points. Now look at the graph here. What are the common points what we have got? We got 20 and 16, 20 and 16 here also. That means when you draw the graph, probably the intersection goes like this. Somewhere it is 20 and 16. What does 20 represents? X. What does 16 represents? Y. Final answer for the graph will be x's. Therefore, length of a rectangular garden is 20 and breadth of a rectangular garden is 16. That should be your given conclusion, right? So again, remaining part I have done. Tabulation, I have also given you all the values for x and y to be taken. Your work is to only plot the graph. Wherever the sums I have done half and graph part I have given it to you all, I have not mentioned in the homework. It is understood, you have to do it. So finish this. Look at the sixth one. Given the linear equation 2x plus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0, write another linear equation in 2 variables such that the geometrical representation of the pair so formed is intersecting lines, parallel lines and coincident lines. That means equation is given to us. I need to frame another equation such that when I compare the ratios and find the solution, I get the intersecting line type of a graph. You need not draw anything here, just frame an equation based on this. Very simple, answers need not be same. Minus 8 is equal to 0. Now intersecting lines, what is the given condition? A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2. Keep that in your mind. So shall I write this as 3x plus 2y plus 8? Right? Why I wrote 3x plus 2y? Alright, it's your wish. Write this as 10x plus 3y plus 9 is equal to 0. See here, A1 by A2 will be 2 by 10 is 1 by 2. 3 by 3 is 1. This 8 by 9 is minus 8 by 9. Nowhere it is equal. We got the condition as A1 by A2 not equal to B1 by B2. Understood the point here? You need to get it in the form of where A1 by A2 not equal to B1 by B2, where we framed it. Next one, parallel lines. What are the conditions for parallel lines? Second is parallel lines, right? Yes. What are the conditions for parallel lines? In parallel lines, A1 by A2 can be equal to B1 by B2, but should not be equal to C1 by C2. So, the first equation given is as it is 2x plus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0. So, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but not equal to C1 by C2. Since it is minus 8, I will write this as minus 9. I can also write plus 8, doesn't matter. But again it will come here as 1 is equal to 1, again 1 will come. So I have taken this as minus 9. See here, if you want condition, you can just mention A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2 for your reference. Here, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 but not equal to C1 by C2. Clear? Last one is given as coincident line. Write the question as it is. 2x plus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0. I'll multiply the whole equation by 2. I'll make this as 4x plus 6y, 9, 8 2s are 16 is equal to 0. Now see here, 4 by 2, 2 by 4 is 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So the condition here is A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. All are same. That's all is the given question what they have asked. And we have a last one where again it is the graphical representation. Copy down this. We'll finish with the last one and today we'll wind up with this last sum. And the last one, that is 7th one. Draw the graph of the equation x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0 and 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. Determine the coordinates of the vertices of triangle formed by joining these lines at x-axis and shade the triangular region. Let's see, we'll draw the graph. You'll come to know what do we obtain from the graph here. First, with respect to this, x plus 1 is equal to y. So x and y values if I have to tabulate. So what values will you give here? X is equal to 0. So y is equal to 1 can be the first value. X is equal to minus 1. Y is equal to 0. That's enough. 2y is equal to transpose 12 this side. 12 minus 3x. 12 minus 3x. Where y is equal to 12 minus 3x divided by 2. X and y. Give values such that when you divide it, that should be, divisible by 2. So first of all, I'll give x is equal to 4. 3 4s are 12. 12 minus 12, 0. That's one value. Next value I'll give x is equal to 0. No, x is equal to 0 you can give. Yes, you can give 0. X is equal to 0. 3 into 0 is 0. 12 by 2 is 6. And you can have these values here. So if you have to plot the graph now, let us see. The values are quite very simple. And the scale what you have to choose here. Y value is 6, where minus value is very less. So let's take it in this order. Till up to 6 you want, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And this is y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. X-axis you want up to 4. So let's mark till 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is x-axis. Negative axis we can only take few values here, not many, since it is not required. Same as the negative x-axis also. We'll only take, do we have? Yes, we have 1. That's all. So this is minus 1, minus 2. So this is x dash axis. Minus 1, minus 2. And this is y dash. 0 and 0. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Scale. To your right hand side you will write x-axis. We have chosen 1 unit is equal to 1 centimeter. Y-axis 1 unit is equal to 1 centimeter. One most important thing which I forgot to tell you here is when you draw the graph, that has to be with a sharpened pencil, not with a blunt pencil. The graph should be very neat and fine with a very straight, very narrow line, not with thick lines. Because I've seen children even doing graphs with HB pencils. So it should be with the pointed sharpened pencils always. Let's plot 0 and 1. X is 0 and y is 1. The plotting is here. X is minus 1 and y is 0. The plotting comes here. So it's only a small line. So let's only represent this much. Later we'll see. Then x is 4. 4 comes here and y is 0. So it is x is 0 and y is 6. It comes here. So the line goes like this. 6 and 4, when we draw it here, it comes around. Okay. So now what I do now here is I'll extend this line to this axis here. Extend it, draw a line straight enough. Otherwise, what best I suggest you is take one more value so that you will come to know where exactly you have to plot it here is. So let us take if x is equal to 2, right? Y is equal to 3. Let's take one more value. X is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. Somewhere here it comes. You will know, children, where to plot it and where that line should come. Yeah, it's exactly coming on this. So it's better for me so that I can plot this very easily. Now, is that a triangle formed here? Yes. Name that triangle as A. This is a coordinate. B. And this is a coordinate as C. Mark the coordinates of A, B and C. What is the coordinate of A here? X is -1, Y is 0. What is the coordinate of B here? X is 2 and y is 3. Coordinate of C, x is 4 and y is 0. Correct? So these are the coordinates and now you have to actually shape the graph. That's all what they have asked here is. So when we get the graph, write the coordinates with respectively given and the points. So that is where we complete today's exercise. On the graph part, I have asked you to do for the homework, where I have given you the tabulations and the remaining few sums where to check the consistency, as well as checking the consistency plotting the graph also is for homework. So tomorrow we'll start with the next method of representing algebraic pair of linear equation in two variables in algebraic method. That is, we'll start with first substitution method. So if any doubt in today's class, you can call on the same day of the video set.